Hey everybody, welcome back to My Wings of Refuge. Y'all, I'm excited today because God is still on the throne, and I just believe that big and exciting things are still yet to come. So today, let's do something a little fun. I think this is fun, but it's also delicious and healthy, and it's a way to save everything without letting things go to waste. Okay, so here I have my tomato powder. I love making tomato powder because most of the time in the things that we make, when we peel off the peels and toss them away or even feed them to the chickens, but those peelings often hold so much beneficial nutrients. And sometimes that's the most nutritious part of the fruit or whatever it is we're eating. And so what a great way to salvage those skins from those tomatoes. So for the last, I don't know, a few weeks probably, we've been working with canning tomato products. And I have been mentioning, don't forget to save those skins and the core and the seeds or anything else, any of those undesirable parts, because we want to make tomato powder. Tomato powder is fantastic. Okay, so you're saying, what on earth am I going to do with tomato powder? Well, I love to add it to my homemade sourdough bread. It gives it just a tiny bit of flavor, but more nutrients. I love to add some to soups and stews, and it just adds so much more body. But you can also sprinkle it as a garnish on top of your omelets in the mornings. You can sprinkle it over top of casseroles. You can sprinkle it over top of your hot melty sandwich that you're making. There are so many things you can do with this. If you like to make homemade dips, I love hummus. And if you make hummus, sprinkle that, add it to your hummus. Y'all, this stuff is fantastic. Don't let those skins go to waste. I love giving scraps to my chickens, but these scraps you want to save for yourself.
So this is what it looks like when I process my tomatoes. If you're not using a food meal, then you're probably cutting your tomatoes in half and baking them in the oven to get the skins off. When you do that, save those skins. Also, if you cut the core out, you can save that core.
This right here is where your undesirables come out. That would be your seeds, depending on what strain you're using, your skins and the core. And then everything that comes out of this tube, you can put in your dehydrator and dehydrate it into a tomato powder. Okay, so I have this bowl here of the undesirables that I'm always talking about. This is our tomato skins. If you use the salsa screen, it might have seeds in it, it'll have the core, any of that. Now, any bad pieces, I cut those out and discard them. And depending on the level of bad, if it's just a dark spot, I give it to the chickens. If it's moldy, yucky, gooey, whatever, I put it in the trash or the compost bin. But these here are just undesirables for your tomato sauce or your pasta sauce or canned tomato juice or salsa, the puttanesca, all of those things. This is just the skins and the core, or the sections around the core. So here's what we do. Your dehydrator, if it has a screen like this, that it has holes that you can see through its wire, you can use just this. But if you do this on each rack of these, be sure to put a solid something in the bottom because it will drip. But you can use this. It does tend to stick a little bit more to this, but that's okay. Another option is this. I love these. Can you see? These have tiny holes, and this is more of a plastic. It's a little heavier duty than silicone. And so if you have these, this is my favorite because it might drip a tiny bit, but you're not going to have very much drippage from this. And I like that it has these tiny air holes because it actually, as the air circulates in your dehydrator and the heat, it can dehydrate from both sides. Because where this silicone works very well, you'll have no drippage at all. But as you see, this is just a silicone mat. I love these, but it's going to sit in your dehydrator like this, and no air can get underneath. So you're going to be dehydrating basically from the top. That's fine, but it is going to take you about twice the amount of time to get this dehydrated. So you'll want to use your little handy dandy spatula, and you'll just scrape it up, flip it over, and dehydrate some more until it's all crispy. That's if you're using this solid silicone, which I'm not going to use today. This really is my favorite, and that's what we're going to use. I'm just going to scoop a chunk on here, like so, and spread. The thinner you spread it, the quicker it will dry. Like that, and it's ready for the canner. And the next one. Ta-da! Ready for the dehydrator. But see, this dehydrator has a tray in the bottom, which I really love because I can pull it out and clean it. But if anything drips, I have a tray to pull out. Close the door. And then I'm going to turn this on, and I'm going to set the temperature about 104. Mine goes down to 95, but I'm going to put it about 104. And on the timer, I'm going to leave it for 10 hours. And when this is over at 10 hours, I will come and check it. And if need be, I will scrape it off. And if it feels a little gummy, I will put it in for a few more hours. So this is how it's set up overnight. This is first thing in the morning. And it did pretty good. A little tiny bit of moisture in there. So I'm just going to run it for a few more hours because I want it nice and crispy. Timer is off. Let's take a look here and see. So if you don't have silicone, then this is kind of what you have to do. Okay, so I have here the blender part that I like to use. It goes on my Ninja, and I like to make green smoothies from this, but you can put it in most blenders. What I use here for canning, and I'm going to use this to get all of my beautiful chunks of tomato in there. We'll put our lid on. Okay, so we are just going to put that on there and pour right into our jar. And then we will continue on with each one of those sheets. And it's a lot easier on the ones with silicone or the little plasticky thing. And we just blend it and keep going till we fill our jar. I love when they come off really big. On to the next one. Well, I'm going to go ahead and blend this. Thank you so much for watching today's video, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic week. And I just want to share a verse of scripture of encouragement with you. One of my favorite verses. If my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from your wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive their sin and will heal your land. Y'all, I don't know about you, but that is my prayer today. Lord, please heal this land. And you know what? He can do it. He, above anybody else, can do it. Lord, please heal our land. We need healing in this land, y'all. Have a great week. I am praying for you. Stay safe out there and have a tremendously wonderful week. And enjoy some tomato powder.